Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we'll be using some cards from the new 4.4 version update. And there are 4 new character cards in this update, namely Cryohypostasis, Thoma, Sayu, and the Seahorse, Millennial Pearl Seahorse. So here in this deck, I'm using the Cryohypostasis in Aztaha Magic. Basically, I just replaced Sinora with the cube, with our new Ice Cube. So let's take a look at the Ice Cube's skills first before we start the game. So the main gimmick that this cube has is that after you use its elemental skill, which deals 3 cryo damage, your next normal attack will deal 1 piercing damage to all characters on standby, in addition to its normal 1 cryo damage. So that's a nice power up to its normal attack. And of course, just like the Electro Cube, it also has a revive, Cryo Crystal Core. So once it's defeated, you'll revive back to 1 HP. But it also has a talent card here, which only costs 1 die, and it just reattaches the revival to our hypostasis here. And also, when after the hypostasis triggers Cryo Crystal Core, basically the character that takes out the revival will get Sheer Cold, which is just an extra 1 cryo damage in the end phase. Okay, wow, that was a lot of things. Okay, yeah, so that is the Cryo Hypostasis for you. So just like in Aztaha Magic, I'm like the Sinora version from last update, I'm gonna start with the Ice Cube and then use the skill. And now that Dea has Lightning Rod on her, I'll switch to the Station, and they can't avoid the Station skill from hitting Dea. However, the Station did get a nerf in this update, which we will take a look at here. So before, the Lightning Rod will just stay there forever until next round when another character attacks and the Lightning Rod will shift to them. But now, when the character attached with Lightning Rod takes damage from the Thunder Manifestation, the damage is increased by 1, just like usual, but then the Lightning Rod gets removed, so you can't hit the same character twice anymore in 1 round if they're on standby using the Station. I think that's a pretty neat change. Honestly, the Station was too strong last patch, so I'm glad they got nerfed. We also have a new card here, Sunata Flower, which we will take a look at what it does later on in the game. So now here, of course, Goro is just gonna use his elemental skill and trigger Crystallize. And I don't care, I'm just going to use Matsutake Meat Rolls here. This is a new food card in the game actually. It costs 2 aligned dice to play, and it heals your character instantly for 2 HP. And then in the next 3 rounds, it'll heal your character for 1 HP during the end phase. So it gives you a total of 5 HP over 3 rounds for 2 dice, which is pretty good value. Here I just used my elemental skill again on Goro. And now that they ended their round, I'm actually going to switch to Aztaha here. The reason I'm not using the Station's burst is because A, this deals more damage, and it also gains 1 stack for Aztaha, as well as giving him the Electro attack. But it also means that I've now dealt 3 different types of elemental damage in this game: Cryo, Electro, and Geo. And this is important for another new card, which we will take a look at after we're done rolling here. Alright, so the new card I'm talking about is Silver and Malus. So this card will record the number of types of elemental damage you've dealt during the entire game, even before you got this card, before you played it, or after you played it, throughout the whole game basically. And here I've dealt 3 already. So Silver and Malus, the moment I play it, it will come with 3 stacks. And during the end phase, if you have at least 3 stacks on this guy, on these guys, it will give you 3 cards. I mean, it'll give you cards equal to the number of stacks it has. And you can have up to 4. You can get the 4th element by I don't know, maybe if they had Hydro on their team and then you sold Hydro as well. Or maybe you had Abyssal Summons and then you got the Hydro on me here, maybe. That kind of thing. It's a bit hard to get the 4th element, but usually 3 is enough anyway. And there's also Jeht here, but we will take a look at Jeht later. So here again they just crystallize me. And now here I actually use my burst. Well, first I use Silver and Malus to just trigger Mimir. And I tune Wang Shuin because there's no way I'm using that card. And I use my burst. Now here of course I'm going to switch to the Ice Cube since I do have 3 Cryo Dice. And I want to trigger as many elemental reactions as possible. To avoid that, they switch to Dea, and I use my normal attack, which as you can see, deals piercing damage to their characters. I chose a normal attack because now these 2 summons will give a Dea a shield as well, and then this will hit Dea, taking her out through the shield, and also superconducting. I just used the Jade Chamber because why not, and I also had to try and get rid of my cards because Silver and Malus is actually going to make me overdraw 2 cards here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get rid of any more. Sunata Flower just gives you even more cards. And I just lost 2 cards. I lost Gilded Dreams, so that's pretty sad. But that's okay. Now we'll take a look at what Jeht and Sunata Flower do. So Jeht is just like Silver and Malus, she records the number of cards discarded from your support zone during the entire match. I say just like them because Silver and Malus because this can happen before, during or after you play this card and it all counts. It records the number of them. So what Jeht does is for each card that was discarded from your support zone, she gains 1 stack. And if you have at least 5 stacks, maximum 6. And when you use your Elemental Burst, she'll give you Omni Dice, equal to the number of stacks she has minus 2. So if you had 5 stacks, she will give you 3 Omni Dice. If you had 6 stacks, she'll give you 4 Omni Dice, which is a lot. But the thing is, it's a bit hard to build up these stacks. So usually she's only used in pretty much the last round of the game, from experience. And for a card to count as being discarded, it can be either you had a full support zone and then you replaced one of them with another support card, or the usages are used up, just like Mimir just now. So the 2 Mimirs that disappeared just now, as well as Silver and Malus, that already gave my Jeht 3 stacks. So it's important to keep that in mind when you're playing this. So they just use Breastplate, dealing 3 damage. Goddamn. Imagine shielding and dealing 3 damage. And here I just use my burst because I wanted this summon. Now the Ice Cube goes down, but it comes back, and I reattach the revival to it so it can tank it for even longer. And now this skill I didn't actually need to use it because they had a Lotus on them, but I mean, like, what else was I gonna do, right? So I just used that. Now I just spent my last 2 dice on Jeht because might as well. I didn't have anything else to put down. Here the Ice Cube will die to Goro's summon, but well, that's okay. The point of the Ice Cube here was to tank all these hits anyway. And after the Ice Cube goes down, I'm gonna send out Azdaha, and he's going to deal a ton of damage to these poor souls. So the thing about Azdaha magic is the magic. You can get a crap ton of dice. So first I used Yayoi Nanatsuki, I used up the Seed Dispensary, giving a stack, and I also replaced Opera Epiclese, giving another stack to Jeht. So now Jeht has 5 stacks. Then I used Gilded Dreams on Thunder Manifestation. This is just fixing my dice a little, but later I'm gonna use Liar's Song to get even more dice. And then I use Azdaha's Talent to pass the turn and get even more dice. Magic. Putting the magic in Azdaha magic. They're just forced to normal attack here. They couldn't switch to Noelle because Noelle would just get hit with Crystallize or Superconduct. And she might die, honestly. She would die before Azdaha dies. So yes, they're just forced to stay on Goro here. So now I re-equip Gilded Dreams on Azdaha, getting even more dice. And I just use the Electro attack. Now they use the burst, and now they have really little dice left. I'm confident they don't have enough dice for 2 attacks, or maybe even 1. So now I'm gonna use Sunata Flower. So now we can take a look at what it does. So you can, once you play it, you can choose a card from your support zone and discard it. Guess what? That also counts to Jeht's stacks. So it's a really good card to pair with Jeht. And of course I'm going to remove Jade Chamber because every Jade Chamber is just so useless. In fact, this might be the last round, so of course I'm discarding Jade Chamber. And then after that, it also gives you 2 support cards, randomly generated support cards, just like Mimir, meaning that it can give you support cards that aren't even in your deck. Kind of like Jade Chamber basically. It's not in my deck at all, but I got it from Mimir, and I can get it from Sunata Flower as well. So now I play it, and now Jeht has 6 stacks. And now I can play my other Jeht, and she'll also come instantly with 6 stacks. So that's really amazing. So this would, if I use my burst here, this will give me 4 Omni dice, and this will also give me 4 Omni dice. That's crazy. Now I just use Mushroom Pizza on Azdaha, in case they have enough dice for another attack from the well. And then with 7 HP here, he should be fine, but even if he dies, the station with this 10 dice here should be able to take out Noel. They didn't have another attack, so they just Lotus and ended their round. And now it's just a free kill for me, with 10 dice from Jeht. So yes, Azdaha magic just got even more magic. Is this a good update? I guess so. Oh, GG.